What's up everyone, OJ here. Welcome back to another video, and Nintendo has recently released their sales numbers and things are pretty impressive across the board, actually outperforming what a lot of people felt Nintendo would do for the past 3 months. We're going to break down all the numbers here, some of the incredible things that I have seen. There are just games that are selling so much. There's really nothing like this in the industry, and that's why when people talk about Nintendo and kind of the magic with the Nintendo Switch and what they're doing, it is something that we just haven't seen before. The attach ratios are insane, and Nintendo is selling a ton of consoles and also software. And like I stated before in multiple different videos, that Nintendo will have the best summer in Nintendo history here. This is easily stacking up just to be that, if it isn't already there with some of these sales numbers. So the Nintendo Switch has sold a whopping 41.67 million units worldwide as of September 30th, 2019. So we're all the way in October, pretty much in November already. So that can pretty much go up to 42 million at this point, right? Now, Nintendo did announce this in their latest earnings release. A total of 4.8 million Switch hardware and 35.88 million software were sold during the 3 months ended September 30th. It should be noted that Nintendo released Switch Lite on September 20th. Now, Nintendo did not make any revisions to its previously announced forecast that it will sell 18 million Switch units between April 2019 and March 2020. Nintendo also shared updated sales numbers for a variety of different first-party games, revealing the official numbers for The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening and the other top-selling Switch titles. And I would say that there are 3 major takeaways from this, guys. Outside of the last one here, over 246 million pieces of Switch software have been sold, but there are 3 major takeaways with this, and that is the Nintendo Switch selling nearly 5 million units in that 3-month period. That is a huge summer, and it lines up right exactly with what I was saying, that this is going to be Nintendo's biggest summer. They're going to have monster sales for a period that's usually slow. It's usually slow during the summer, but Nintendo had huge sales with big games, and it paid off big time with a huge jump of nearly 5 million units sold in that 3 months before the big holiday, before Pokemon, before Luigi's Mansion, and more games coming. So that is awesome to see that. But then also another big takeaway here, guys, is this top 10 software sold. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe sold 19.01 million. That is the total number of sales for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on the Nintendo Switch. This isn't combining the Wii U version. If you combine the Wii U version, this game is like at 28 million on an install base of around 50 something million if you count the Wii U. That is absolutely incredible and a fantastic ratio of customers. People absolutely love Mario Kart. That's something that we've seen here, and I think that Mario Kart is going to be the key catalyst going forward with a new Mario Kart in order to drive even more Switch sales as it gets older and older in the market. And that's a video for another day, but that's one of the big takeaways here. Mario Kart is an absolute system seller. It is a force that we really kind of like haven't seen when it comes to gaming out there. I mean, there's other games that can kind of put up some of these numbers like this, but with the amount of install base compared to what's going on here, this is pretty much a 50% ratio here. A 50% ratio of people who have a Nintendo Switch and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which is just insane for 40 million plus, 41.67 million. Absolutely amazing. Now, another big takeaway here is The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. This game released in mid-September, and in a couple weeks, it sold 3.13 million. So it didn't even need like 3 full weeks on the market or a month on the market to sell 3 million units plus. That is absolutely amazing, and it shows the love that fans have for The Legend of Zelda and classic Zelda games, and this is by far going to be the best remake that they've done, the best-selling remake that they've done. Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening is going to be that. This is before the holiday season, so that's another big takeaway. Now, the last big takeaway here, outside of course some of the other ones that we've talked about, the big sales of the Nintendo Switch, 41.67 million. You have Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, but also Fire Emblem Three Houses. This is a hardcore strategy RPG that a lot of developers kind of shy away from. This game sold extremely well, because you have to remember, the sales for this are at the end of September, right? Fire Emblem Three Houses came out in July, the end of July. So in 1 month's time, it sold 2.29 million units before the holiday season. That is easily the best tracking Fire Emblem game ever with worldwide sales. That's already topped Awakening, and that's already pretty much where Fates is at, or very close to it, or it's going to pass it up very soon here, because people are still buying Fire Emblem Three Houses on the eShop and also in stores. So it's phenomenal to see that. And like I said before, you can look at my videos that I did last year saying that Fire Emblem Three Houses sales are going to really impress people. You're going to be shocked at how well the game does. It's going to be the best one in the franchise in terms of sales, and I think that we're seeing that here with that 2.29 million in about a month's time. That is really good. We can see this game easily top 6 million plus when it's all said and done, maybe even more. I think it's actually probably even going to do more than that. 2.29 million, almost what, like more than a quarter of the way there already with that, if they're going to say 6 million, if I'm kind of estimating that. So very good there. Overall, with the sales, if you look at the Nintendo Switch and some of the other games, we talked about Mario Kart 8 Deluxe at that 19.01 million. We looked at Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. That's another big takeaway. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is now the second best-selling Switch game of all time at 15.71 million. It actually passed up Super Mario Odyssey at 15.38 million. And with Terry coming out and more DLC, you're going to see those numbers continue to rise up and up. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is actually looking really good and continuing to sell at a nice clip at 14.54 million. Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, Pokemon Let's Go Eevee, that's at 11.28 million, and that's continued to sell. And I think that's the main reason why people can sit here and you can talk about Pokemon and people being angry and all that, but Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee had a ton of controversy too, had people boycotting the game too, had a lot of people say that they're not going to buy it as well. And look at these sales for Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. Pokemon Sword and Shield are going to obliterate these sales here, so I can see Pokemon Sword and Shield doing 12, 13 million very quickly and passing up pretty much passing up most of the games on this list, being right underneath Breath of the Wild within its first holiday. Now, next up, we also have Splatoon 2, which is inching very close to 10 million units sold at 9.28 million. Then you have Super Mario Party at 7.59 million. New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe at 4.59 million. Super Mario Maker 2 at 3.93 million. So that game's continuing to do really well. Almost 4 million units before the holiday. I can see that one keep on going up and up when it comes to sales. We talked about Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening at 3.13, and of course Fire Emblem right there as well. So overall, this is very good to see. Obviously, the games are selling well. Nintendo has really struck a chord with a lot of fans out there, and the big takeaways that I talked about with Mario Kart and the 41.67 when it comes to sales, that is amazing. Selling nearly 5 million, that is huge, and I think that's more than what people thought, because when I talked about it on my live streams, everyone was saying kind of like, maybe we'll see like 39, maybe we'll see 40. Some people kind of pushed 42 or something like that, but I was kind of in that area. I said 41. I was like 41 or 42. That's what I said, and I was right there because I thought that big summer was really going to like make way, right? You have that big summer with all the different games that we talked about, Dragon Quest Builders, and you also had God Eater, and you have Legend of Zelda, and you also have Super Mario Maker. There was just so many games. Fire Emblem, Marvel Ultimate Alliance, just game after game after game after game. On top of that, you have the system just getting everything, right? You just get all the different types of games. It's getting the 3DS type of games. It's getting the console style of games. It's just getting everything with a bunch of indie games as well, too. A bunch of indie games that you can play anywhere that you want. People were just snapping this system up, and it's even going to be bigger this holiday, too, with everything here. So it's good to see. Nintendo's going to continue on here. People have talked about where they think Nintendo's going to wind up because Sony put out their numbers over 100 million with that, passing up the PS1, passing up the Wii as well, being the second best selling home console of all time. And I think that at this rate here, at 41.67 million, by next year, by March or so, we're going to hear that Nintendo's probably sold 50-something million because they're going to have a huge holiday. They need less than 10 million units to get to 50 million when it comes to that, right? So they're pretty much already there because, you know, the holiday season is going to be big. They're going to sell nearly 10 million units in the holiday season, or pretty much from this point, the September 30th, all the way through the holiday. They might push well more than that. So we could be seeing by March of next year, by the end of that fiscal year, that it's at 50 something million, 55 million or something like that, which is absolutely incredible. And then holiday there, 60, 70 million in that range. And before you know it, it's getting very close, especially with big games on the horizon, like, speaking of Horizon, you have Animal Crossing, right? And also Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, No More Heroes as well. This is just going to continue. It's going to continue, and that's what I want to see. I think it's going to put some developers in an interesting dilemma, especially Japanese developers, in terms of where to put their focus and support with next generation coming up as well. I think Western developers are obviously going to be focused on the Scarlet and also the PS5, but Japanese developers, it's like, well, wait a minute here. We've got a rising base here of people that love to play these games and are doing very well. We're probably gonna have to support it a lot more than what we saw at the beginning when it comes to when the Switch came out then. So I think this is good. This is good for the industry to have something kind of different, to kind of support something that isn't the same, right? Xbox and PlayStation, they're kind of the same. PC, they're kind of all going in that one area, whereas Nintendo's doing something different. You can play games if you want to play HD, 4K, whatever the case is, or you can play games on the go and have it there. It gives people options, and I'm all about that. I like having those options because I have all the different systems here, but I'm really happy to see these sales, and I think it's going to continue to get better and better. But just, it was mind-blowing when I saw those Mario Kart 8 Deluxe numbers. That is just absolutely incredible. And like I said, Mario Kart 9, that is going to be the catalyst for the Switch hitting, if it does get to 100 million one of these days, that's going to be one of the big catalysts, is Mario Kart 9 and how good that game is for the regular Switch. And then you know what they'll probably do? They'll probably make it on the Switch 2 or whatever the next is and call it Mario Kart 9 Deluxe. That seems to be like a good idea when it comes down to it. Just double dip on it, right? A lot of people were saying like Mario Kart 9, it'll be just like for Switch 2. Why? Make it for the original Switch, then just make a Mario Kart 9 Deluxe and do the same thing that you did this time and look at the results, you know? So crazy stuff there. So what are you guys' thoughts when it comes to the sales here with the Nintendo Switch and the software? What were you most impressed with? What are you looking forward to see in the future? I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts in the comment section below. All right, guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Go ahead and check out the links in the description below. We got Facebook and Twitter. Go ahead and give us a like and a follow on our social media. Hit that like button if you did like this video. Let me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future. And subscribe to PlayerEssence for latest RPG, Japanese, and Nintendo gaming news. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you guys for the next one. Peace.